Hello everyone. Let me see if I can put this somewhere that you guys can all see me. Got my sunnies on. It's a red lipstick. Man, this light is amazing. No filter, great light. I'm gonna take off my jacket. Today is Tuesday at 2 o'clock with your two favorite people in the real estate world. I'm gonna get Ben on. And then we have Stephanie joining us today too from my team. So let me see if I can. Hello, babe.
Hello.
I was just saying, like, look, I'm like glowing and
You are. Look at that lipstick.
I know it's a red lipstick day. I'm down in the Soto district.
Nice.
We were at the Eder Hall.
Oh.
Yep,
Okay.
down on First Avenue, right across from Ghost Fish.
Okay.
So, yeah,
So
just doing those things. Let me see if I can share the broadcast with Steph and invite her to get on. So we had it was called Call the Play, Win the Day. That's what it was today.
Okay.
So it had such great information for clients, real estate agents, just people in general. We talked about the market and where we're at in home predictions and all that. Let me see. Oh, now Steph's coming.
Woohoo.
So I'll wait a little bit. Let's start off the call with tell me something you're grateful for. Hello, Steffi.
Hi, guys.
So we're just talking about tell me something you're grateful for. That's how we're starting off.
Awesome.
This
Do I go first?
weather.
The weather?
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yep.
What about you, babe?
Family and opportunities.
I love it. I'm grateful for man, no. I'm grateful for Jason Abrams coming down and teaching us and
Awesome.
from Keller Williams and just sharing all his wonderful knowledge. And I have so many notes and things to share. So I wanted to start off with just one of the things that he said and showed in the market, and I can share these slides with you guys too, is that only 17% of people in the United States feel confident about buying or selling in this market. And this has been in 1981, don't quote me on the year, but around that time, it was at 20%. It's the lowest now than it's ever been. And in 1981, interest rates were at 18 to 20%. And there was more confidence then than there is now. And so when we're talking to people and knowing that there is a lack of that, and how do we create certainty and confidence for clients to be able to make decisions so that they can move forward and take advantage of this market? Because if you ask anybody, real estate or whatever, would you have bought as many homes as you could 20 years ago?
Everyone I could.
You would
20
hope
years ago, 20 years ago was 2006, and in 2006 was of our highest market before it crashed.
Great.
And we still would say that we would buy as many homes as we could.
50 billion homes, all of them.
So it just goes to think that it's like there's so much opportunity out there that people aren't taking advantage of or understanding or how to even move forward in it. And it makes me sad because people are still losing their jobs. Unemployment is the worst it's been in a long time, right? It's very bad. And the issue is not only are people losing their jobs, there's not jobs coming to the market. So in construction, where there was usually a ton of jobs being there, they were negative this last year, which affects real estate as well. So there's just a lot of going on, increases in pricing of everything, right? So prices are going up in general of everything. oil costs, then you have a bad job market, then you have, like there's just a lot of uncertainty, but people are still getting divorced more now than ever, right? Because of the unfortunate. People are still having people that pass away. People are still outgrowing their homes. People are still, so that's where I love us coming together on these Tuesday calls to allow questions or conversations or things for people to understand, to take action, to move forward. Because, and Ben and I talked about this last week, we can't control oil prices. We can't control the war. We can't control, what's happening or people dying in your life. We can't do, you know what I mean, or your relationship. But what you can control is your assets, how you protect them, and how you choose to make decisions for that. And decision fatigue is not going to get anyone moving forward where they need to be. Because if only 17% of the people are wanting to buy and sell out there, there's so much opportunity. Because while everyone else is sitting on the fence, you could be someone that takes action, whether that's just a conversation. It doesn't even mean that you have to be committed into marrying the decision of buying or selling, but just start with the conversation that's going to help you move forward to make a decision. Because waiting is dying. It literally, that's what that means. Like, you waiting to do something is literally dying in your life. So that's just my preach today.
I love it. I think it goes right into. I had a conversation with a client this morning, and they want their payment at around $2,000 a month because they're renting from a family member at $1,200.
Mm,
And they have 20% down, phenomenal credit, make great income, and they're not confident.
mm.
And what I realized, I think, and I'm going to say this, and it's unfortunate, but it's true. The reason why 17% of people feel uncomfortable right now about buying or selling is
No,
because,
83% feel
excuse
uncomfortable.
me, sorry, that's what I meant.
17%.
Yep.
Yeah.
83%. Yes, that's even, yeah, is because the professionals in the marketplace don't feel comfortable. They don't have enough education and want to turn the light on themselves and do the research and understand why at a 6.6% interest rate, and they're not sharing success stories. We are not educating ourselves as professionals as much as we need to be doing that for the consumers. So the better we do as professionals by doing Tuesday calls and reading and educating and continue growing ourselves, the better the consumers will be. It got really, really, really easy and lazy over the past 5+ years with rates in the 2s and 3s. I've got a success story I'll share a little later on here of a client who had a low 3 rate, and we refied, and it's so much better, and the rate's way higher. And we'll go into that too. But I agree with you. It's building that confidence back in the education of, everybody preaches, oh, build wealth in real estate. But what does that really mean? You've got to turn on the light and educate yourself in order to get where you need to be, because right now people are still talking about rates. We're in the mid 6s right now. They were just in the mid 5s just recently, and who knows what's going to happen with the economy. But that's not what we should be talking about. We should be talking about that
Right.
right now, half the homes are stale. There's opportunities where you can do 3, 2, 1 buy downs, where we have a client in the office that got $33,000 in closing costs and ended up getting a rate at 3.99. That payment is ridiculous. So that's affordable. And that's an opportunity that can happen. You can get that with the right people behind you. So not to preach myself, but I think it's super important just to turn the light on and get educated so that you know what options you have and what you're doing. If you sit and wait, like you said, you will miss opportunities, and you will put yourself in a position where you can hurt your financial future because of decisions made today.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, well, we wanted to bring Steph on because Steph has ventured into another opportunity along with real estate, and I'll let her talk more about that and what that looks like, and share how she made a decision to partner with this as well to help our clients. So,
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah. Hey guys. I wanted to go back though really quick before we change subjects totally and just say, your question was how do we build certainty with our clients? And I think, Ben was already hitting on it, but coming up with that plan, not being afraid to ask the questions, don't wait to connect with us. That's really, I think that's the best advice is just don't wait. I think people get really intimidated because, we're big bad salespeople and they think that we're just going to talk them into buying everything. But you guys all know that's not our culture. We want to do what's right for our clients. And if that means that we have to come up with a plan and they buy in 2 years, then awesome. We'll be there in 2 years. But if we look at your finances and we're like, oh my gosh, you guys, you could actually get into a house versus this house you're renting for an additional $500 or $600 a month, and we figure out how with your bills and budget, we get really nitty gritty with you guys. So please trust us as the professionals to help you build that certainty. We can create that certainty with you. And the fact that it's only at 17%, I think is just such a disservice to every single person that's not in a house right now. And I just hate that. I want everybody to be able to buy a home. And I think that you can. It's just a matter of when, not if, it's when. So, yeah.
Oh,
or yeah, move up, or whether you're a first-time home buyer. We talk a lot about first-time home buyers. That really our specialty on the team is we've got two lanes of vehicles. We have first-time home buyers, and then we have move up buyers as well that have taken that first-time home buyer house, which we need more of on the market. Steph and I have a lot of first-time home buyers that are in that lower price range that would love to come and buy your home so you could move up. There's a lot of opportunity there for you to cash in on that equity, and 4% on a $400 house is a lot different than 4% on a $650 or $750, year a house. Yeah, 1,000, you know what I mean. I mean, there's not $750 houses, but the rate of return, and I think people forget that, is even in a depreciating market, Washington is not like other places. You are still appreciating at an average of 4% every year. So, let's maximize that money and get you to either put it towards your next house like Steph did, or pay off all your debt like she did as well, to get you to that next phase of life. So,
Yep. Yeah. Don't focus on just your payment. Let's look at everything, especially if you have the potential to be a move up buyer. If you've been in your house for 5+ years, let us just do a free equity report for you. It's super quick and we can just let you know what you have. And then let's look and see, maybe we can take enough to, have 20% down on your next house, but then maybe we take that extra 50, 60 grand and pay off your cars and your credit cards. So then you're saving $2,000 plus a month, right? So then it doesn't matter if you're paying $1,500 more for your house because you just paid off those other bills. That's really, really similar to what me and my husband did, because we were in our Kent house for a long time. We had a lot of equity. We didn't really know what the heck to do with it. It's just sitting there. It wasn't helping us do anything. And finally, when we looked into it and, figured out how much equity we really, truly had, we were able to move up into a much better home and pay off all of our debt. So even though our payment went up about $1,000 a month, which sounds intimidating, our bills went down over $2,000 a month. So we were still, so I don't care that I have a 6% interest rate. It doesn't matter to me when I'm saving that kind of money. So
right.
that's
Right.
it's real life.
Well, and honestly, your husband would have been really comfortable staying in the other home. Like it wasn't a need. It was more of like a dream.
Yep.
And sometimes people can't visualize what those dreams look like until you work them through. And that's what you did with him and what we do with our clients, right? Is like, yes, could you be okay there? Absolutely. But what would it look like if your life was a little bit bigger? We've got to think bigger.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
Yep, I totally agree. So, okay.
okay, so tell us about your fun thing.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of take that into, Nobody's promised tomorrow, right? And I think that's a good segue right into the product I'm going to talk about. So
Sure.
a couple months ago, I decided that I wanted to do more for my clients and our real estate clients. And it just really got me thinking about how short life can be. And that a lot of, these young families, especially like our first time home buyers, they get into their homes. And I love that. That's a huge, huge accomplishment for them. And we celebrate them for that. And we love that. But what happens if there's a critical illness, or one of, the husband or wife passes away, and now they're stuck, the spouse that's remaining living is stuck with this $3,500 a month payment. They can't pay it. They're grieving, and they have to figure out what to do with the house. We have to hurry up and put it on the market. We've been in that situation with our clients before where we have to hurry up and help them get it listed. They miss opportunities, and it's such a stressful time. And so when I really started to think about that, I found a product it's called mortgage protection insurance. And basically it's going to take that away from you as a worry. And it's so stupidly affordable, honestly, like for just a basic plan, that I feel like everybody that owns a home should have some type of mortgage protection insurance if they don't already have some kind of life insurance in general. But basically I would help you run through a quote. And there are ways to just make sure that your mortgage is paid for 6 months if someone passes away, right? So if your mortgage is $2,000 a month, 6 months, that's 12 grand. That's not very much money. A policy for that, just to have that sitting on the side, just so you don't have to worry about it. So if something happens, that you don't have to worry about anything but grieving your spouse for 6 months. I just feel like that's so priceless. And those are the plans, like those are the things we can do so simply that are literally under $20 a month.
Wow.
Like I think that's the bare minimum. And for our first time home buyers who are already, working with us with a budget, which we totally understand, this though in the long run could really, really help you. And then if you are in a better financial place, then you could definitely, maybe get mortgage protection to pay off your entire mortgage. You go $7,000 on your mortgage. We can do a plan up to that amount. We can do any amount that you want. But it's obviously going to be more expensive. For like a $700,000, you're probably going to be looking at more like $300 a month or something. But that's the whole point of this, is it's literally like a scale. So it's a tier system. So we can start super basic when, we want you to be comfortable, because the point is to be able to keep the plan. I'm not going to try and talk you into the most expensive plan and then you not be able to pay it and then lose out on it, right? Like that's not a win for anyone. And so I would like to think that our clients understand our culture and how we are always looking out for you, not trying to take advantage of you. That's why we've been in sales as long as we have been. We're not part of the turnover rate that, everybody's left because they couldn't make sales. Right. And so I think that, that proof is there. You guys know, if you've worked with us, that's our goal and our intention is we want to help you long term. And so that's why I thought that getting licensed to sell life insurance would be that. Everybody that's helped, going to help, friends, and whoever. This is something that we, and because this isn't full blown life insurance, there's not even a medical exam necessary. Like it doesn't. Wow. Yeah. What was your question, Ben? Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I heard, I can hear the truck running. I can't, you were kind of cutting in and out. I don't know if anybody else could hear you.
Sorry,
So
I just turned it on really quick.
I didn't hear the last like little part.
So there's no medical exam necessary since this
Got
isn't
it.
traditional full-blown life insurance, since we can do such a small amount. It's really quick and easy as far as like the questions that I have to ask you, very basic, right? Like we need like height, weight, age, date of birth, if you have anything medical going on. And the thing is it's not life insurance where if you've maybe had cancer or sickness or whatever, it's just a no. There really isn't just a no. Like it's just a matter of what we do for you and what the amount is and how we fit it into your budget. So don't be afraid. Don't be like, oh, actually, like I don't feel like I'm super healthy. Maybe I should wait until like I've lost some weight or I get this handled. Don't do that, because we can probably get you covered with something, right? And then if later on you are healthier or whatever, then we can just get you something better then. But don't wait, because what happens in the interim if something happens, right? Like this is peace of mind. So yeah, so I'm
That's
pretty,
amazing.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, and most people don't know. And honestly, I mean, living through what Janelle and I've lived through the last 5 years and witnessing that, and I mean, it only makes sense to have something to if and when needed, you know?
Right. Right. Well, and I think I talked to some clients the other day and they were concerned, and this just kind of resonated with me, is they were concerned about their more elderly parents, on what their parents are doing well, but they're 75 plus, and they actually still have a remaining balance on their mortgage. That's kind of rare, right? Hopefully at 75 you've paid it off, but that's not how it always works, especially living in an expensive state like Washington. So I think that happens more often than people realize. And so they wanted to talk about finding something for their parents, and they were just going to pay for it for their parents to be able to cover the mortgage for the 6 months, when they pass or whatever may happen, maybe they go in a home, whatever, so that then the mortgage would be covered. It didn't have to come out of any of their kids' pockets. And then they'd still be able to get it sold. And then we also tied that along with being able to do final expense protection, which is basically just it's about $10,000 worth of coverage because it covers your death, your cremation, or your burial.
Oh,
So
wow.
you don't have to worry about that either. So just
Well,
food.
talk about how many GoFundMe's I see out there about those types of things, that it's expensive. Like, whether you're cremating, depending on your religious whatever, or burial, it is not cheap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
10,000 barely. I mean, yes, it covers it, but not much, you
Well,
know.
no,
Nothing's cheap anymore.
for sure. Yeah.
No.
And cremation is obviously the cheapest option, but even with cremation, you're looking at a minimum of 8 to 10 grand. And
Hmm.
honestly, I don't, this is stuff people don't like to talk about and think about, but if your loved one passes away and they get taken to the morgue, which is standard, that's what happens, and you opt to cremate them, they're going to cremate them. They're not going to let them sit there and rot, right? So they're going to,
No.
and then they will literally just stay there until someone can afford it. And if
Hmm.
that happened, that just is like a terrible thought. Why would you ever leave that up to chance? But yeah, they will literally just hold them there until someone can pay for it. Like the dirty truth of, like, unfortunately, that industry, like no one else is paying for it. The family has to pay for it. So
Yeah.
really, really stressful at a time when you're already grieving.
Yes. Very stressful. And it's happening more and more. And unfortunately, through hard times and illnesses and sicknesses and sudden things and not sudden things. So it's just something that I think we need to have more conversations around. We're doing a will and estate class in June, just to help educate people more and protect themselves for the future.
Well, and I think, and a big part of it too is with the critical illness, right? Like we all know someone, like I wouldn't say that we're old, right? Like we're kind of middle
Hmm.
aged, right? Like we're kind of on that cusp, but
Thanks, Steph, for the reminder.
yeah, but it's still something that you want to be looking to protect your kids from or whatever it may be. So it's not too early to start thinking about it, just because you want to protect your loved ones. And I think this is another simple way to do that. But I think that how many people do we know that have gotten some type of critical illness like cancer or something like that? And you're like, oh my gosh, she's only 35. Like, right? Like unfortunately, I have seen this so many times, just in like my, close personal sphere,
Hmm.
and they're fighting it and they're doing better. They certainly can't work.
Yeah.
So you can also get that type of life insurance to where if something happens like that, same thing, we can make sure your bills are covered to where you can actually fight and live versus being stressed out and figuring out how you're going to pay for stuff. So
Well, we were on our leadership call Monday morning, and daughter and mom in real estate, dad very well known in the sheriff industry, whatever. He only has 8% kidney function. It went from like he had kidney disease to, very short period of time his kidney function went down. people don't think about, like, he's flying across the country to get medical care and, seeing specialists and all that. Now he can't, and he's on the kidney transplant list, and they're like looking for help, 5 to 7 years to find a match. And there's just so much, all of that, there, Jason Abrams was talking about that today. Sometimes people become medically bankrupt.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a real thing. 100%. It's so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Try and fight
Like
for.
literally medically bankrupt. So, ways to protect that, whether you have insurance or not, is these other things for, you know, God bless, hopefully it doesn't happen to your family, but I would say it's happening more now than ever. So,
I think it is, unfortunately.
I love that you did this, Steph, because we chat every Tuesday and have for some time about turning on the light to building wealth. And this is literally almost like the next chapter of protecting wealth.
Yep.
And I know that we're going to be doing more classes in the future about protecting wealth, which we all need to be better. As we grow older, there's things. We have 401ks and stocks and bonds and crypto accounts and all these things. And, inheritance tax and how to avoid paying the high taxes when you leave to your kids, or if something major happens like that, what goes on. And, this just plays right into, every year we should be, all of us, every consumer, every person should be doing a review of your life and what you're doing. And this is just one more thing of, with the right professional and team around you, you have options to protect what you've worked so hard to build. And, it goes right into, this is a success story, is this client had a 3.5% rate and totally happy. Didn't think anything of it. Watched our live about 6 months ago when we were talking about refinances, called me, not even my client. I did a free mortgage review with them. They had quite a bit of debt. I won't go into exact details. Because debt is debt no matter where you have it. I want to make sure that is. If you either have it protected, unsecured, or you have it in a tax advantage account, right? And that's obviously a leveraged asset. And so what we did was we combined everything. They did need about 15 grand to do a roof and do some things, but we combined everything into one payment. Yes, the rate doubled. It went up to 6.5, almost 7%. But the total debt outgo per month is less. Now it's $1,200 less a month.
and they
Now,
got a new roof. They
yeah,
got to do something. Like,
exactly. And this would have been, I mean, just taking for me as a professional, and this is where, you said 17% are comfortable. Well, these kind of things like mortgage protection, I don't know exactly the name of it, but because there are plans that are affordable, that gives more confidence to someone to say, well, listen, if I buy a home and something happened to me because I'm the breadwinner, and my wife who stays at home with the kids, or husband, whatever it ends up being, if something happens, I can have protection for 6 months or 8 months or 12 or 15 or the whole mortgage if we want to pay. And doing something like what I did to help them, they may not even know about this protection, that it's insurance that's there because of education, and that just creates confidence. So I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with every person that I'm helping save money is, hey, do you have this? You should look into something that may help you protect the assets, because I'm going to help you build the wealth, help you save money. We're going to create a conversation in just turning on the light. Here is the next step in turning on the light in possible protection of that, because I know that people do, and they are scared per se of, what if I lose my job? What if I can't pay my payment? What if I can't go to work? With rent, it just is what it is. We'll move back into somebody. But they feel sometimes like when they buy, it's over. If something happens like that, it'll never happen again. And that's just, again, turning on the light and having that conversation in all facets of this to gain more confidence so that we can make the right decisions. Because, we believe that everyone, like you said earlier, should own a house. It really does help you build wealth. Doing it right, though. If you're just, you got to understand the right ways to do it and protect it to make sure you're taken care of and do the annual reviews and all that. So, the biggest thing I wanted to say is on this, in the success story of this client here, if you have a 3, 2, 4% rate, or if your rate's higher and you haven't turned the light on, give me a call. Give anyone a call that you did the mortgage with. It doesn't have to be me, and just do a free review to see where you're at. Because if you can save $200, $300, $400 a month, and you can then go get a mortgage protection, wow. I mean, just paying the same amount you were just paying maybe last month by combining and doing this, you can have your mortgage maybe even paid off if it's upwards of, you said 700,000, which is mind blowing. So I definitely want to look into it a little more, and I want my parents to look at it. So off a camera here, I want to chat with you a little more. But I think it's amazing that you did that, because that's exactly what we do here at NLA and Future First is we want to help people not just buy a home. That's not it. It's everything after that to help you pay it off earlier and get to retirement and build wealth for your family and leave a nest egg for your kids and so much more. And if something happens, now we have another avenue that can help you protect that asset, which is amazing. So
There's
nice
a
work.
couple things I was going to add to
Sorry.
about what you were saying is, if they were the 15,000 to get the roof done, which is probably the main goal of why that conversation started,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they could go get a credit card
Yep.
probably at 20%, 15%, 15,000 at 6%, even though, you know what I mean? Like there's
The
just
term is
like,
shorter. The term is shorter, so that payment's
Yep.
a lot higher.
Yep.
yes. So it's like, so there's just all of that that goes into it that makes me think about that. But Steph said, even to, this conversation she was having with a client about the mortgage protection was their parents as well. And, that's, I think, like my grandparents worry about it all the time is like, what am I leaving, me and my aunt to deal with when that time comes? And so having those opportunities to just like figure out, well, who doesn't have to pay or who's going to handle this or who's going to take care of the taxes or who's going to do it's just good to have a conversation about it. One thing I wanted to kind of leave on is I've had this come up a couple times where people are like, well, who do you know that's an investor that wants to buy my house? I don't want to get it ready, right? Like, I don't want to have to worry about doing fixes or having staging or packing up all my stuff or people coming into my home and all of these things. So there's a lot of different options and opportunities that aren't just a one fit box for all of this. Are buyers pickier now than ever? Yes. And have I probably done a disservice of explaining like, oh, your home needs to be show ready. Buyers are picky. There, that isn't for everyone. So before you go just accept an online cash for keys offer or whatever, there are hidden fees. And if it is the best thing for you to do, I will tell you, or Steph or Ben will tell you. Well, Ben's going to refer us to us, but we will tell you if it is the best thing to do.
Yeah.
There are a lot of options of buy before you sell as well. There are so many different things. So don't just assume that you don't want to make a change because you haven't done the deferred maintenance on your home, or there's just anything and everything that you're fearful about selling your home. Like, let us work through with you and just word vomit what that looks like so we can help put those pieces together. We have investors, we have people that may even want to look at your house off market that are buyers. We have a huge network. There is something for everyone, and you get to control that narrative, um, and make a decision from that.
Yeah.
So,
Don't leave money on the table.
yeah.
Let us at least look and see if there's a better plan. And like Nick said, we're not trying to take advantage of you in any way, shape, or form. And I hope that you guys understand that about our culture. If you don't, then you've got to be hanging out with us more to know that's
Yeah.
cool. So if the best plan is for you to maybe do an investor because maybe you're out of state or whatever, right? Like, then we're going to tell you that. And we'd rather introduce you to our investors because we know they're going to take better care of you.
Yes.
So yeah,
There's
just
always hidden
have
fees
that.
with everything and those types of things. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And if you just don't want the headache or to deal with it because you know, like, man, my roof is near the end of its life, those types of things. Well, we have roofers that will take money out of closing. And if you're taking 50, 60, 70 grand off the price, but it's like, I like it, let's see if we could get you more money by doing that and getting one of our contractors to pay at closing. There's just there your situation is your situation and you can't generalize it in terms of comparing it to everything else. Like we've got to figure out how to get steps 1 through 5 for you versus you going online and figuring out what everyone else is doing because every situation is different.
And we don't judge. That was one thing I heard. This was last year. Somebody did take an investor offer, and it was way low. And they shouldn't have. They shouldn't. There's just no way. And they're fearful because their cousin was a realtor, and it was one. And I asked the question, and this is a great conversation because I forgot all about it until now. Is they just said they didn't want to be judged. They didn't want their cousin and or anyone else to judge them. And so they were willing to sell it for hundreds of thousands of dollars less. And I think if they would have just had a conversation knowing who the cousin is, they wouldn't have judged them. And nor will we judge you. We don't judge people. We create plans and help you get you back to what your goals are. Our goals are not your goals, but we are going to give you the right tools to be able to help you create that so that you can maximize your goals. And we are always here to help.
Yeah, you are living in a home, right? You are going to sell a house. There is a difference. Like if I come over to your home and you don't have laundry on the counter, I'm going to think that's weird, whether you shoved it in your closet or not. Like people live in their home. Like let's fold laundry together and have a conversation. Like if your toilets aren't scrubbed or it's not perfectly mopped, like please don't have it be ready because then I can't help you and tell you what it needs to look
True.
like when you have showings. Like let me coach you and come in and do the job. Like I want to see the dirty countertops. I want to see the dog footprints. Like we're all normal here.
Yes.
Like it does. My mom's house is pristine and perfect all the time. Like that's weird, you guys. I love her to death, but like I could throw a sign in her yard. That is not common. Like that
Not
is
lived in.
not common, you guys. Like come see my house. I'll send you pictures of my house and we can compare and let me come over because like I want to sit in your home. Let me tell you how to sell it as a house. There's a difference.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay, well give me one tip of advice. If you were going to tell your best friend something about this market to help them move forward, what would it be?
Don't let it be intimidating. Let's see what your options are.
Okay, love it, Steph.
Just turn on the light. I say that so much. I mean, just education is the biggest thing, because if you don't know something, you may make a decision based on what lack of information you have, and you don't know if that truly is the right decision. You may be doing it emotionally, you may doing it, who knows? And so just partner with the right team, and maybe it's two there. Sorry, partner with the right team and educate yourself and turn the light on.
Yeah, mine would be if you feel stuck in your current home, let's have a conversation.
That's really good.
Let's unstick you and get you where you need to be. Whether
Love that.
that's selling and renting, whether that's selling and buying, whether that's you renting out your current home, maybe you buy a vacation property. I don't know, but
Let's
let's
get where you want to be, right?
yeah, like let's figure out what that looks like to get you unstuck.
Yeah, you deserve to not be stuck, and we can help that.
Exactly. Well, tune in next Tuesday at 2. And we always catch, if you're watching this for the first time, thank you. Or if you stayed with us the whole time, thanks, Dory and Jamie. If you know of anyone that could use this advice, feel free to share this video. That's the biggest free way to help your friends and family members in business is to share what they're doing. Share it on your social media, share it in a message to someone, send it to them. Any way that we can help. And if you have a need, reach out. So,
Yes. Yes.
happy Easter, everyone. Have a
Oh,
great Tuesday.
yes.
Okay,
See you
bye.
next week.
Bye, guys.